it's hard because documentary photography often favors that. It favors the bold. It favors you pushing that line and getting into these spaces and around these people that might shy away from a camera. And so it's hard to juggle that. And that's where the mistake comes in. Call it karma, call it whatever. You're not allowed to film or take photos in this library. I did.
Sana baba. Satu. Puma. Agala barreto so. Agua tasa nana. Bomba. Yo tuma.
So, I messed up. Long story short, sometime between traveling and filming and editing and eating, I managed to lose an entire day's worth of footage. But I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to focus, get back to what the base of this channel is meant to be, photography and mistakes. So after Lisbon, we headed north. We took a train to a small town called Coimbra. Coimbra itself sits on a really shallow river. It's hilly, like all of Portugal seems to be. There's little winding streets, cobblestone. They're all narrow, staircases, staircases, staircases. Little shops, restaurants, eateries everywhere. It houses one of the oldest universities in all of Europe. It used to be the capital of Portugal. It was kind of nice being in a place that was quieter and more relaxed for a little bit. Coimbra still has tourists, but they're outnumbered by far by the students of this university. Students come from all over, and the university actually doubles as a museum. But all the university students, you can tell who they are because they wear these long capes. They essentially look like Hogwarts alumni. They don't do magic, I asked. But they like pose with tourists. Like wherever you are, they'll be like posing. Tourists stop them, they'll put their cape around a tourist. I didn't partake in that. At night, you just see young youths in every alley and corner, and they're drinking and they're smoking and they're laughing and they're doing what youths do. One morning, I woke up early, stepped out for coffee, and on our stoop of the place we're staying, I caught a young couple playing console tennis with each other. They were scared, I was scared, they were embarrassed, I was embarrassed, they didn't want to hug. I moved on. But Coimbra itself, there's not much to do, really. We walked around, we checked out all the little things. There's a beautiful cathedral in the center. The town itself is known for like pottery and different crafts, and there's some really good restaurants there, but the cathedral was very pretty. So one of the days, we took a train to a even smaller village to go check out a national forest. Just got off a train in, I don't know, the middle of the forest in Portugal somewhere, northern Portugal. We're gonna find a palace or something. There's literally nobody here though. There's all these beautiful little, staircases and ruins and whatnot. The town itself, as we're going through, there was just nothing. A few people, there's sheep, there's old houses. It's in the middle of the forest. Castle. We stopped into a little cafe to get some waters. The lady working there was just watching TV and was like, yeah, just get what you want essentially. Didn't even get up until I had to pay. Steepest climb of our lives. Aggressive flies. Let's try and figure out how to get there. And you're walking through like olive orchards and there's just farmland. Like no other tourists were really there. Also, we found out later that no tourists walk from the train station to this place. If you're gonna go, you rent a private car or take a private tour. We finally made it to this abbey upon arriving, which was beautiful. This big, manicured lawns, gardens, and it's now been turned into a hotel, which was still very cool. Kind of shifted what I thought it was going to be, maybe. Mostly because right when we arrived, there was just like family upon family of like Russian oligarchs being kind of rude to us and rude to the staff and everything else. And then when you're there, it's because there's nothing there, they got you. You buy a bottle of water and it's 4 times as much as what it was in the town you just walked through. After hanging out there for a little bit, walking around the ruins, making our way through the forest and back down, hanging out with some very aggressive geese that lived there.
Hey, okay.
Those geese tried to eat the camera. This is, I don't know what this used to be, but it's, now it's a hotel. Now walking back to the train station through like a nothing town, and it's wild. Literally, there's just cats everywhere. And there's nobody at the train station, no workers, no other tourists, no other travelers. So once we finally got there, we had a couple hours to just do nothing. There's not even a vending machine, there's no bathroom, railroad tracks that go over this big gap on this bridge. The town itself was very cool. Just see how people are living when they're not influenced by tourism. The big to-do there is this university museum, and they have different halls of different things, some science and some art and architecture, and tell the history of the town and Portugal, and it's very cool. And one of the top things that you're gonna do there, this ancient library that's beautiful, and that's where the mistake comes in. Call it karma, call it whatever. You're not allowed to film or take photos in this library. I did. I just, set my camera and just filmed from my waist. Had it hanging around my neck, kind of lean back and do one of these and, oh, what's that? And all the things as we're touring through this, this beautiful library. I did get a couple photos out of the footage, but the rest was lost. That whole day. Went to a science oddities where they have like 3-headed dogs and an elephant with syphilis in a jar and all these things, but all was lost. Obviously, Dewey Decimal wasn't stoked that I was trying to photograph and take video of his library there. And that brings me to the point of the ethics of documentary and street photography, which is like what I mainly do. Some people will see my work or others that do this and they go, you shouldn't be taking photos of people in public. And I think in the name of like art, finding the line of morality and ethics is kind of up to the artist. There's some historical photos and historical photographers who really push that line. And they're in people's face using flash, and that's not my style. And I don't necessarily know if that's good or bad, but sometimes you see the images that come from that and you go, well, without that, this beautiful image or this slice of time wouldn't exist necessarily. So it's like, where's that land? It's hard because documentary photography often favors that. It favors the bold. It favors you pushing that line and getting into these spaces and around these people that might shy away from a camera. And so it's hard to juggle that. The other part of that is that there's beautiful photos taken in places you're not supposed to be. And that seems to be a little more easy to swallow. You know, somebody jumps a fence and photographs an abandoned house or abandoned these like strip malls, and then the photographs come out and people love them. They eat them up. They're like, this is amazing. And part of documentary and street photography in general is just you're trying to get a piece of something to show the world that not everybody sees in general. Is that okay? Is going on private property or to these places that are deemed, you know, ethically or morally, like lawfully untouchable, does that make it more okay to photograph that? And to me, personally, I think that it does. I think that kind of my ethics around the whole thing is that if I'm not hurting anybody, if I'm not, you know, I don't photograph homeless people or people in need or disparaged communities really. But at the same time, I say that, it's a double-edged sword, because if you snap a picture of somebody on the street and then blast that to your social media, that can be morally wrong. It shows a lack of understanding. But at the same time, if you spend years around a community documenting it over and over and dedicate yourself to document the way of life that these people are having and the struggles and trying to encapsulate that to show the world, that changes, right? That changes the morality around it. I think with anything, it's your intent. If you're doing it for cheap shock value, you know, garnish views, that changes it from actually trying to shed light and understanding on a disparaged community. It's a fine line, and I think that's the beauty in art in general, is that it's all subjective. It's all up to the perceiver. And one person could go, oh my God, this is terrible. And the other person could go, well, they're shedding light on an issue that is often swept under the rug. And that's very interesting. It's a very interesting part of making art in general. It makes it interesting to play that game and to like toe that line a little bit and see how you feel about these images and how others feel about the images. And I don't necessarily think that it's wrong. And I don't necessarily think that it shouldn't happen. The boldness of, you know, your shutter clicks are impeding these people or harming them in any way, then I don't think that that's okay. I would be super interested to hear what you think. The ethics behind the art is something that you need to consider when you're pursuing this art and any art. In short, this trip to Coimbra and this lost footage of me recording something I wasn't allowed to be recording and photographing something I shouldn't have been technically photographing turned into just like a deeper internal discussion with myself of like, where's the line? Where do ethics fit into the art that I want to make? And I don't know, but I think you have to have your own moral code when you're doing these things, that it's not always going to align with everybody else's. In summary though, check out Coimbra. The library, grand. It looked like, you know, it looked like Harry Potter was writing spells in there for sure. Should they not allow you to photograph it? That's the interesting question. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. We're still traveling. We're deep in Vietnam right now, and until next time.